Thank you very much, guys. So, one goal in this game from Ousmane Dembele gives PSG the advantage, obviously. Still a whole leg, though, to be played. Admittedly, yes, that leg will be in Paris, back at home for PSG. But 90 minutes or more still to go, Thierry?
Yeah, still 90 minutes. One thing that we were saying off air with Jamie is that the plus is that it's not 2-0 for Paris Saint-Germain, because they had some opportunities at the end that would have been debatable or no, because we don't know if it was offside or not. But since they didn't score, we couldn't check if it was offside or not. But for me, I have to say that Paris Saint-Germain in so many ways were a bit more dominant than Arsenal. You could see at the end that they were trying to keep the result. Yes, Donnarumma made a great save on Martinelli in that 1v1. Same, Arsenal had some chances also, would have been debatable again, because it would have gone down to see if it was some offsides or not. But overall, you cannot say that the 1-0 is not deserved. Having saying that, it's still another game. Anything can happen there. But this is a team, like I said to you, that knows how to control their subject, and they did that tonight. We
saw the goal that Ousmane Dembele scored for PSG just earlier, just before the break. So just talk about him for a second, because his stats, I think, over this season, and particularly over this calendar year, are very impressive. So this is over the season. He is the 4th top scorer this season in Europe's top 5 leagues. If you skip on, though, to 2025, he's top of that list, 25 goals in the calendar year, ahead of Mbappe, ahead of Lewandowski. Those are impressive numbers.
Wow. Yeah, they are, and we all been saying that in France for a very long time, is if Ousmane can finish what he starts, he will be one, if not the best player in the world. And that's what he's doing only now, which already...
So, sorry for interrupting, Thierry. Does that mean we are watching the best player in the world right now?
It could be.
Love a headline, don't you?
No, that's not what I said. I said it could be. So that was in the past. I'm saying if he does that on a daily basis, I think he can definitely be there. But this year, when you look at what he's been doing since 2025, he's on top, and he's on a run to win the treble.
No, I was just going to ask Thierry. You talk about his finishing improved this year, but his all-round work rate seemed to improve. Is that a fair? I mean, we've talked about Mbappe.
No, he was. I'll be honest with you. He was never a guy that wasn't going to do the job. Mm-hmm. Let's all be honest. Maybe his understanding of the game at times was on the right thing. The decision making. Something was dribbling when he didn't have to dribble, shooting when he didn't have to shoot, passing when he had to go. It just makes it clearer in his mind also. And maybe because the big man left.
One more question. How easy is it for players like yourself to adapt? You played a lot on the left-hand side, and then he's playing down the middle. You talked about Mbappe played on the left, but not having the same impact through the middle.
He's also playing in a system that allows him to drop, and we will talk about it maybe next week or maybe talk about it now, is the fact that when he goes low to ask for the ball, being back to goal, Neves will always go high. So technically, he doesn't often have someone behind him, and he already knows what's going to happen. It's not the ball that you will throw to or kick to Emileski in his time, that no matter how Emileski would have kept it, or Didier Drogba. Because there is a mechanism and a pattern of play, he already knows what's supposed to happen, and everybody also. So it's not really the same. But yes, he has that, the capacity of receiving the ball back to goal. It's one thing to do it when you're on the line, because you know that nobody comes from that way, from the line, or the left back is here, so you know what you're doing. But inside, if the pattern of play is not right, if you're not used to play in that position, it becomes a tiny bit more difficult. Or you are Didier Drogba or Alan Shearer or Emileski, and you will barge people out of the way.
Let's go over to our friends Peter Schmeichel, Anita Jones. Your thoughts on having watched that game over there?
But first of all, you're not going. It's not because of David Beckham. It's because we're going. So, yeah.
I did all right when I was in Italy, Peter. I did all right. I did an okay job before when I went on the road.
You've been on the road one time, haven't you?
Yeah.
I have asked for you to come out, and you've ducked out of it every time.
Oh, sounds like a challenge.
I want to show you the roads,
I'll tell you what. If you want me to come to the Parc des Princes, Peter, I will come with you. No problem at all.
But what about
next
Anita?
week?
But David Beckham's going to be here.
Well, Peter and Anita.
Would you rather be with Peter in the Parc des Princes or here with David Beckham?
I'd rather be with them in the Parc des Princes.
Oh. Wait till Beck's finds out.
No contents, is it? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but Micah, you and me be crying at the end of the game, so I don't know if you really want to come along to that.
I don't think you can say that live, that Micah is an Arsenal fan. I don't think you can.
Have you given up hope, Anita?
No, but I mean, I'm hoping with Thomas Partey being available for next week, we'll see a completely different performance because he was such a huge miss.
But do you think it was just that? Because I had a feeling that it was too many of the big players not turned up today.
But I think he's such a crucial part of that team. And I know Jamie spoke about the spine of Arsenal missing, the fact that Gabriel in defence is not there, Partey and then Havertz up front, Partey being that last piece. And we saw how crucial he was against Real Madrid. I think it just impacted the way the likes of Rice played, of course, Marino not being able to get up front as much. Who else do you feel didn't show up then?
I think Saka was very quiet. I felt
Is that they kept him quiet or he didn't have a good day?
I think it was a little bit of both.
Okay.
A little bit of both. He just looked a little bit tired, if I'm honest.
Right.
When he got the opportunities to actually challenge Mendes, he just didn't have that extra bit of Saka magic that we've seen before. But I have to say, we can talk about Arsenal not doing this, Arsenal not doing that. I mean, the PSG team, we've said this for a couple of weeks now, that for me, it is the best team left in the tournament. They play extraordinarily good football. Okay, they got the early goal. I think that was really, that was important for the game, how it developed. They got the early goal, and from that moment on, they were in total control. Maybe Arsenal had like 2 5-minute spells, one in the first, one in the second half. Yeah. Apart from that, Vitinha in midfield, wow, what a performance.
Yeah, and hopefully we'll be hearing from Vitinha or someone else from PSG. Interesting that you made that big call that they're the best team left in the tournament. When I spoke to John McGinn after Aston Villa had been knocked out, he said the same thing and said that they just made them run so much and they honestly would be feeling it the next day. So what do Arsenal need to do next week?
It would be very good for them if they got some of their big players back, so they had a little bit from the bench. There's nothing from the bench really today. When you see what PSG put on Bacola and Ramos, I mean, that's just different level, you know. I think everyone needs to play just a little bit better than what they did today. And I think they need to go for it as well. It was a little bit too conservative for me, but PSG, what a fantastic team. Yeah. My favourites to win the tournament.
OK, you said it here. Well, only one goal in it, Kate. Hopefully we'll get some reaction from some of the players shortly.
Where Arsenal were beaten 1-0 by Paris Saint-Germain in the first leg of their Champions League semi-final. It was an awful start for Arsenal. PSG went ahead in the 4th minute. Kvaratskhelia Kvaratskhelia pulled the ball back to Ousmane Dembele, who struck with his left foot. It was Dembele's 45th goal involvement in 45 games this season. Arsenal kept pushing for an equaliser, but couldn't find it in the end. And Clinton Morrison watched the game with us in the Sky Sports News studio. What went wrong for Arsenal tonight?
They were against a good PSG team. I don't think Arsenal did much wrong. I just think it was a very close game. But PSG created probably the better chances. Arsenal did create a few chances, but Donnarumma was in fantastic form. But I just think the difference between the two teams was the pace on the counter-attack. PSG, their front three, caused Arsenal a lot of problems. Even Barcola, when he came on, had a golden opportunity. And you look at it with Martinelli, had a great opportunity, but didn't really stretch him behind, so he didn't really trouble Hakimi. And Mendes done a good job on Saka, who I love. I think Saka's a fantastic player, but defensively they got it right. And then when Arsenal did open them up, they had an outstanding goalie in Donnarumma.
All the talk beforehand from Arteta was make it happen. He called on the fans to really get behind them. Do you sense that Arsenal felt this first leg was the key to the whole tie? Yeah,
I think it was, because your home form is important. I mean, the home tie, is very important. You feel like when you're at home, you feel like it's like the 12th man with the fans getting behind you. So it was a bit disappointing. At times they were quiet, the Arsenal fans, but they did make a lot of noise and tried to get behind them because everyone was trying to egg them on. The Raya was, Arteta was doing it on the side, the players were, but sometimes it's down to the players and then the fans will react off the players. So yeah, it's a disappointing night, but they're still in this tie. At 1-0, going to PSG is a difficult place to go, but they can create chances. They went to Real Madrid and won, so why can't they go to PSG and win?
Yeah, and PSG were beaten by Liverpool at home. I mean, it was an incredible game, that one. Could you foresee that kind of performance that Liverpool gave, snatching one on the break, that Arsenal can deliver in the second leg?
They can, but they'll have to keep it tight at the back. And the problem is this is a different PSG from when Liverpool played. I think they're full of confidence. I think they know their game plan. I think Luis Enrique's done a fantastic job. The improvement that I've seen in PSG over the last 3 or 4 years has been fantastic. They're not individual players in their team. The team work for each other. I think Dembele is superstar. He's had 45 goal involvements. He's got 30 goals this season. I think 9 in the Champions League. His career just flipped on its head, and I think he's been fantastic. But Arsenal got to believe, and I think Arsenal missed Thomas Partey, because I don't think Dembele gets that goal if Thomas Partey is sitting in front of the back four. I just think he just pulls off, and then it enables Declan Rice to play higher up. So it was a silly booking from Thomas Partey, but they'll have him back for the second leg.
And you talk about a bit about squad depth there, particularly in forward areas when you see the senior options they had to bring off the bench there, Nwaneri, Sterling as the only senior options. Did Arsenal's lack of attacking options really come home tonight? Yeah,
that was always going to be the problem, Dave. They didn't have, like, PSG had a full squad to pick from. Arsenal didn't. They've got a lot of injuries, and they had obviously suspension with Partey, but the injuries have took its toll on them, and I always still think they're missing a natural number 9, which maybe in January they look at now and thought maybe we could have got it, but they didn't foresee these injuries that they've picked up. So they have been unlucky, but credit to Arteta, he's never moaned about it, he's just got on with it. And they just got to believe, because next Wednesday is going to be a hell of an atmosphere, and they just play on the counter-attack. They've got the players to cause problems for sure. And let me tell you something, PSG won't sit back and hold on to the 1-0. They'll still get forward, so Arsenal can counter-attack them, but they'll have to keep it tight at the back.
Well, it's all set up for next week. Clinton, thank you very much for your time.
Mikel, what was your assessment of your team's performance this evening?
We are half-time, and my message has been exactly the same. Post Real Madrid at home, 3-0. We have to go to Paris and win the game, and we are more than capable of doing it, because I saw 2 very good teams where the margins are so small, and they had efficiency in front of the goal, and their keeper as well made a difference to see the result that we've seen tonight.
Do you think your side was missing anything this evening?
Yeah, certainly we don't score a goal and concede one, you have to. But we did a lot of things very well as well. We had a spell in the first, I think the game had phases, the first 15-20 minutes, especially them scoring so early in a great combination play when the margins are so thin, the finishing is unbelievable. And then we had especially one issue that we corrected after 15-20 minutes, and we sustained that for the rest of the game, which I think it turned the game around. And you want to win the Champions League final, you have to do something special, and we're going to have to do something special in Paris to be there.
Sam, Daily Telegraph.
Hi, Mick. What was the issue that you changed?
Sorry?
What was the issue that you changed
I
after?
cannot tell you.
It's very rare to see a team play that way and dominate Arsenal in that first 20 minutes, the way that PSG did. What was going through your mind at that point, and were you worried about where that might lead?
That if we don't correct that, it was an issue we had with the ball. In a specific moment, you don't have the chance to press them. And if you don't have the chance to press them, they start to bring all the midfielders back. You're going to struggle, because that's exactly what they want to do to you.
James, CBS.
Hi, Mikel. I know you don't want to go into too much detail about what exactly changed, but could you maybe help explain more what was going wrong in those first 15 to 20 minutes that you...
Not a lot, I'm telling you. It's just something that is very specific but very important, especially the way we play. And we correct it, and it's not easy to correct it constantly, but we did it, and we did it much better. And then at the end, we have 2 of our front players, 1v1 with Doramuna. They score the goal is different, and he made the saves like he did against Liverpool and Villa, and that's the difference in the Champions League. The margins are so small. We had the disallowed goal as well, and another 2 big situations that happened in the game that didn't go, unfortunately, our way.
Mike, Daily Mirror.
Is it still 50-50, the tie?
I don't know the percentage, but we have a lot of chances to be in that final. And as I repeat myself, you have to do something special in the competition to earn the right to be in the final. And the time to do it is going to be in Paris.
Tom, Football London.
Hi, Mikel. Can I just ask you about 2 moments? The referee became a bit of a target, I think, for the fans in the grounds. There was one moment where Bukayo Saka, in a one-on-one situation, the referee's whistle blows. The other one, Martinelli on Hakimi, who's already been booked. Could I just get your thoughts on those
It
moments?
was so clear. I don't think I have to give my thoughts. Thank you.
Okay. Very nice. We've got Rodrigo here from TNT Mexico with a question in Spanish.
Hola Mikel, aquí Rodrigo Lara, TNT Sports México. Me gustaría, estamos en medio tiempo. ¿Qué tienes que mejorar para el próximo partido en París?
What do you think is going to be the case for the next leg in Paris? And Wayne Rooney was here this evening. What do you think? So I think that we need to be better, and we need to be better week in, week out. So we know that there was not that much in it. We were all on the same wavelength this evening, and it could have gone either way. And we needed to pull things on our side. We needed to be a little bit more accurate. But we have whet our appetites and we want to go to Paris and do what we need to do.
Okay, now.
Hola, Mikel. Hola. Sé que no quieres hablar del árbitro.
Spanish is fine, like Mikel's fine with Spanish.
I know you don't want to talk about the referee, but it's not about crucial decisions, but maybe he stops too much the game. That is your complaint about the referee?
No, it's no complaint. I mean, they are here to try to do their work in the best possible way, and they certainly tried, and sometimes we can have different opinions about certain situations, and that's the case.
Okay, we've got Alex on the BBC and then John Murray to finish off. Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Before the match, Declan Rice has picked up saying, if we don't have the ball, we die. Was the message from you to your players about having control about every single minute against this PSG side?
You cannot. Again, this is one of the best. It's beating all the English teams, the best teams in this country. So you cannot dominate this team 95 minutes. Impossible. Forget about it. And you have to understand what means dominating them and in which area of the pitch. And we have to be very clear. Again, what we have to do where, and when we cannot win it, okay, make sure that we take the game where we won.
Okay, finally, if John Murray, BBC Radio, project, John, project.
Okay, will the performance have to be significantly different next week in the Parc des Princes?
I think the margins were so small, so I don't think so. But if you're significantly better, hopefully the result will be significantly different as well.
Okay, guys, thanks very much.
Thank you.